Hello, my name is Wayne Babbitt, and welcome to my first tutorial in DarkBasic. I'd like to show you a couple of examples of how to code starting with beginner level and going to intermediate as well as advanced. If you've programmed before, or never programmed before, don't worry, I'll start from the beginning. And if you've programmed before, you may want to use this as a refresher course. So let's get started. The first set of commands I would use is do and loop. This will keep your programs from ending unexpectedly or getting an error without any warning as to what caused the error. Next we have sync on and sync rate. This will keep your program running smooth and at a particular rate. In this case, 60 per second is usually good. So it'll go to here to do, and it'll do up to 60. It'll do up to 60 pictures or 60 loops updates per second in the code. You can change this value from 0 to 1000. 0 will update as fast as it can, and 1000 will do up to 1000 updates locked in at that particular speed, which is great for video games because it's just like any other type of game. You don't want to give one player an advantage over another player by them being able to have more turns or less turns than another player. And so that's basically what synchronization does. The next part that we want to cover is using subroutines. Subroutines are really easy to use and good. You put like go sub to go to the subroutine, and let's call this one startup. Okay, and here we'll have startup. We'll know it's a subroutine because we'll put a colon after it and use the return statement to return back to where it came from. And it'll continue the code from wherever it was called from, or the places that they're called from. You know, if you have it used in more than one location, it will go to the last place that called it. So let's go ahead and cut that and paste that inside of here. So it'll run this first. So it'll go sub startup, and then it'll go to the do command and then continue looping through. Another way of doing this is creating functions like update user input. And this is how we would arrange a update user input function. Now we could also put parameters in here. I'll start probably with a couple. Well, actually no, because I'm going to use a different method. I'm going to go ahead and globalize this. A couple of variables: mouse x, mouse y, and mouse z, as well as mouse position x, mouse position y, and mouse position z, and mouse click. Then I'm going to globalize the last one. So actually I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. And we should do the last first. It's weird in coding. But there's a reason for that, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But let's go ahead and put these in, and we're almost done. Okay, so this will read the mouse input. And so what we'll do is we'll say last mouse x equals mouse x, last mouse y equals mouse y. So it reads the value of the before we erase that value with a new one. Last mouse z equals mouse z, lmpx equals mpx, lmpy, last mouse position y equals mouse position y. Because mouse position y is about ready to change, so this is no longer the current one, it's now going to be the last one. And lmc equals mc, mouse click, last mouse click. Okay, then we're going to say mouse position x equals mouse x, and this reads the mouse sensor, or the mouse that you have at your desk. Hopefully you have one, or some sort of pointing device. Usually most computers do. Okay, last mouse z, and then mx equals mouse move x, then my equals mouse move y, and mz equals mouse move z, and mc equals mouse click. Okay, and that finishes that section. And here, so the reason for globalizing them, if we didn't have this code up here, the variables would stay inside of here. In other words, their values not be carried outside of here. So if I want to say if mouse click equals 1, then and tell it to go ahead and do something, I don't know, display graphics or something like that. This would always be 0 if I didn't have this globalized up here, because it would be a local, what they call a local variable, or a variable that only keeps its value inside of here. So when you go through, it would set its value. When it exits, it would reset. And then when it goes through, there'd be all the values be 0 again, and then it would reset every time it exited. So by globalizing it, it keeps it from erasing their values and keeps it continuous. Thank you for watching this video tutorial.